we weren't doing that well. You know, we were sort of like playing to half-empty bars, and we were like, Sarah said she wanted to go to university because she's very intellectual, and she wanted to... She wanted to be like a physicist or a molecular biologist, and I said, Sarah, no! Just write songs that people want to hear. And she was like, you got it.
I wrote it because I had decided that I was a failure at being a pop rock musician or whatever it was, and I was going to write albums for children because someone had told me that there was a lot of money in television, and so I decided that I was going to write songs for kids, the cool songs for kids, and this was the first song, I'm not joking, that I wrote for kids, but I played it for someone visiting my house. I said, I wrote this song for a kids thing that I'm thinking about doing, and they said, that song is totally not a kid song, it's scary.
It was a transitional period in my life. I had just moved to Montreal, and it was the first song that I wrote when I was living there, and it was an important move for me to leave Vancouver and to leave Tegan and to sort of strike out on my own, and I was attempting to write music in this apartment that was basically an old folks home that I had sort of like unknowingly moved into, and I remember very, very vividly singing the line, I was walking with a ghost really loud and enthusiastically, and I was writing the part, and a man was banging on my door and screaming at me in French, and so like I have like these very vivid memories about the song, and I remember I lived on quite a floor that was quite high up, and I could see all of Montreal, and it was dead of winter, February, you know, like, the song has a lot of nostalgia for me.
So she played me this next song that you're gonna hear, and we were in a hotel room in Paris, and we were doing this random tour that was quite painful, and she played it for me off her computer speakers, and I remember thinking she was out of her mind. I was like, no, Sarah, this isn't what I meant, But then the rest of that day, and then for a few weeks afterwards, I kept thinking about this song and thinking that it was exactly what we needed to do. We needed to take a risk, do something completely different than we'd ever done before, and which seems so crazy now, because now it doesn't even seem that weird, but at the time it was very different for us.
Anyways, we didn't know at the time that it was going to have that big of an impact. The truth is that a lot of people in our business camp told us that there's another song on that record called We Didn't Do It, and a few people said either cut Walking with a Ghost or We Didn't Do It. They sound exactly the same. Well, fuck those people, because they do not.
I mean, the whole point of the video is more like just to showcase us. Like, we've done playing videos, actual like performance videos, but I really wanted to focus on us and the acting ability that we don't necessarily have. Who just stands still in their videos? Nobody. I get tired watching people like Fifi Dobbs jump around all the time.
No, so much. That video would not happen in our world. I think that's what they wanted, though. I think that's what the when Sarah's like, we're ripping each other's hearts out and we'll be wearing color. It's a metaphorical video. They're just like, can't you just dance around with colors and lights and throw your fists around a bit and act like girls? And we're like, no.
It's what we call the single. Not sure that applies necessarily to our career specifically. It's something that we toss around like we just for fun. Like we're like, oh, I hope the single's doing well.
This next song makes me feel so tired, and I'm not exactly sure why, but every time we have to play it, I literally think to myself, I need someone to roll out,
I guess I just mean that. Oh, we all know what you meant. Yes, everybody, this is the one song that people like of our band. I mean, it's millions. You may know this song from such, no, I don't know. Anyway, you know where the song was in? That movie with Jennifer Lopez, Monster-in-Law? Yeah, it's true. They played it during the credits, but not the first song in the credits, the second song.
I just feel it's important when you bring this up to remind everyone, including yourself, that the only song that anyone ever comes up to me on the street and says, they're like, oh my god, you're in that band, right? That Ghost song? And I'm like, Walking with a Ghost, yeah. They're like, I love that song. I think that's cool you covered the White Stripes. I'm like, I just want to point out that my castle-like mansion, which is very similar to the one here, came from the royalties of that song.
Oh, yeah?
Really? Yeah. So I think that when they're yelling living room, you should be like, well, that's good for Tegan, that fans like her song, but the press, radio, critics, and average buyer buying albums these days don't.
Really? Well, I like you.
If I were given choice to pick one song to represent our band to a stranger, to a perfect stranger, I would probably pick a song called "Walking with a Ghost," because I feel like it's. I know it seems strange. Tegan just, under her breath, said "why." I'm not sure. I'm not sure why she wants to talk negatively about a song that potentially got us the only radio play we've ever had in our career, but it's fine. Not a big deal. White Stripes just covered it. It's not a big deal. I think it's a weird song to pick because it's actually probably one of the my least favorite songs.
Which is why I said why.
I know.
Asshole.
And so, but this is why I'm picking it. This is truly why I'm picking it, because I think it is an accurate representation of sound that we have, and I also think that it employs sort of like acoustic elements and rock elements without being one or the other. Like it's a nice combination of what I think we do in our band. It's a very succinct song, like it's like a punchy pop hooky. It's basically 2 choruses.
How do you say ghost in German? No, they will laugh at me. No, you won't laugh at me? Okay, I was walking to the Geist. If you guys sing Geist, I'll sing Geist, okay?
It is in standard tuning. The guitar is in standard tuning. And the verse, I sometimes think that the verse and chorus are interchangeable in this song. One could be the other, but the first part of the song, the chords start on the 9th fret. I had to count that, but that seemed probably really natural. The 9th fret, and I don't know anything about the guitar, so maybe you should just watch. It's this chord. And then it moves up to the 10th fret on the E string, and then to the 12th. No. Yes, 12th fret. Oh my god. I'm terrible with frets. I'm what people call a self-taught guitar player. And then it goes down to the 4th, and up to the 5th, and to the 7th. Back to the 5th. And the way that I strum it is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to attempt it now, and you can follow along. I'll go through it a few times.
No matter which way you go, no matter which way you stay, you're out of my mind, out of